Well, you're up late.
He told me what happened with Jaxus.
That's good.
In just the span of over a year, he's lost two of the most important people in his life. Now his legacy is in jeopardy as well.
Pardon my language, sir, but damn it, he doesn't deserve this. He's already got enough on his plate with the world looking at people like him the way they do. It's not fair.
You shouldn't be drinking. You worry him.
What are you gonna do, sir?
What do you mean?
Stand up for him is what I mean. You're not gonna let him go through that, are you?
Stand up for... Do you know what that means?
It means that you'll be there for him.
It means that I'll be defying the Hall of Songs. This is the way people like him have been treated for ages.
So you believe that it's right, the way they treat him?
Of course not!
Then you'll stand up for him.
It's not that simple.
I don't see why not!
I'm just one man!
So what? Who cares if you're one man or 100? You believe in something, you fight for it. Simple. And you believe in Cal, don't you?
You don't know what you're saying.
I'm too young, so I don't matter, is that it?
No, Vin, please.
I hope you enjoyed your drink, sir.
As an inspectori, I am all too familiar with thorough analysis and thoughtful consideration. Think and think and think again is what we were taught to do. Nothing is ever as simple as it seems. Always look beneath the surface, always second guess and doubt. In that haze of advocated contemplation, you can understand how easy it would be to forget that sometimes the best solution to a situation might be the most straightforward. The clutter of consideration can sometimes be the enemy of action. Think for too long or too hard and you end up paralyzed. Sometimes it is better to just do. I believe that is one of the few lessons in life that needn't to be learned, as it were. As children, all we do is act. Rarely do we ever stop to think. But instead is a lesson that needs to be protected against the overwhelming maelstrom of knowledge and thought that comes with age. Every once in a while, we need a reminder to pull our heads out from the clouds and simply act. And this time, my reminder has come in the form of a young girl with more wisdom than I'd first anticipated. It's interesting. Now that there's entire parts of the game where it's just interesting to see where the hell the story's going to go because of the fact that, like, the primary driving force of the story, being the investigation, has been lifted up. And now it's all character motivations and everyone's individual goals and of course the looming threat. But the story opens immediately when that specific goal is removed.
Herald, this will hurt.
Just get it over with. Is that the last of them?
Yes, Herald. Though, if I might say, the next time you want to heal yourself so rapidly, it would be wise to set the bones right first.
I was under dozens of feet of stone. That tends to complicate healing.
You're right, I apologize. It was quick thinking. Quite likely saved your life.
Dismissed.
For the lady.
You said he would listen.
And he did.
Then why is he not here with me?
It is part of the plan.
The Barati are all gone.
They did not fall into the grand scheme of things.
How could they not? You have told me what we need to do. Unite the city, repair the broken Medea. How does the Barati not accomplish that?
You would not understand.
Then help me too. Help me understand why you brought me to such power, only to strip me of it.
The next piece is in their hands, and they needed hope before they acted.
In their hands.
The gears are turning. The rivers are flowing. In time, you will see, my child. But till then, you must have faith.
Yes, my lady.
Odd time for reading.
I didn't want to wake the others. You?
Just, thinking. So, you did buy it in the end.
It's a good book. I'm reading about how our people in the Second Canticle still feared the Mascherines.
I suppose you would be interested in that, wouldn't you?
What do you mean?
It's testament to how knowledge can change the world. The moment you understand the power of something, how it works, what it can do, the way you use it, the way it shapes the world, changes.
And here I was thinking that you hated history.
Oh, I do. Just, not the lessons you could get from it.
Fair. Fair. What? Have I got something on my face?
No, it's just, the others were right. You are quite different.
If I might be honest,
I'd like nothing else.
when we realized that you weren't with us in the Golden Canvas, I was scared.
How thoughtful.
The last time I felt that way was when I woke up in the Whispering Streets, after what happened in the White Spire.
When you could have helped Invidious.
Yes. It's the fear of losing something that matters. And I dealt with it 5 years ago by thinking that it would be better never to have anything to lose than risk losing it all.
Not completely wrong.
No, but Lysandra. For 5 years, I had the opportunity to be a part of something that was important to me. I denied myself of it, and now I know how much more painful that is. I don't want to do it again.
Still, though, you've changed pretty quickly.
Cicero, I don't think you know how much effort it takes to be mean.
You going to stay out?
I'd like to read a little more, yes.
All right. Good night, then.
You finished your thinking?
Now I have. Yes.
Good night, Cicero.
What a weird sight, by the way. So she... Sorry, I'm slightly distracted by a graphical glitch here, but her spear is stuck in her hands when she's reading, because it's part of her character model, and the book's not part of her character model. When I did the zoomed-in top-of-the-corner camera angle thing up there, her book wasn't showing up because it wasn't there, but her hands were there to hold the book, but the spear was just floating above her hands and stabbing her through the chest. Like, that spear is not... I don't think that spear is supposed to be showing up right now, and it's just stabbing through her body when it zooms in on her and stuff. What a weird mistake. Whoopsie. And the process is complete. A wonder to behold, truly, how drastically the woman has changed. She has proven herself in possession of a strength I had not anticipated, and she recovered from the grief far more quickly than I would have guessed possible. But now the yoke of her history has slipped off her shoulders, and her sights are set forward. She has stepped out of the fire, purged of the poison of her past, which, in its wake, has left her with a valuable lesson. Regret, despite its softer bark, will prove to be far beastlier a burden than the pain of loss. So try. Recognize that fear is the pernicious seed of regret, and let it not stop you from trying. From doing. If only I had learned that lesson all those years ago, I believe my life might have turned out rather differently.
Calden?
Please, stay out of this.
What is this?
A solution.
What are you talking about? Cloth. Calden, what are you doing?
I've thought about it. Zelia cannot know. I will not let her take the Sail Heart from me, or Raz's legacy. She cannot know the truth.
Calvin, do not be foolish. Talk to me, please.
I'm sorry, Cicero.
Calvin, stop! Calvin!
Give it back to me.
Put down the flame.
I will do it with or without the Masquerine. How much of my arm will be left after is up to you.
Damn it, Calvin, don't do this!
What else am I supposed to do? Allow them to take everything I have from me?
Burning your tattoo away is going to solve nothing!
It will invalidate the journal. I will mend my flesh, clean out Jax's room, and there will be nothing they can use against me.
You will lose everything you have of him, Calvin!
I lose either way! At least this will protect the children and my brother's legacy. Razatov, Jaxus, they both would have wanted this.
You know that's not true. This needs to stop, Calvin. Don't let their deaths be in vain.
I am sorry. Cicero, you damn fool.
Let me see it. Good. Good.
Tides take you. What were you thinking?
You don't deserve to do this to yourself. No one does.
What about the Sailheart, the children, Razatov's chime? Let them take my song, I don't care. But my brother, he should not pay for my wrongs.
There is no wrong to even speak of. If they want to take the Sailheart and your brother's legacy, let them try. Between you and me, I think we can take them on. Vince said a sticky little thing last night. But if you believe in something, you fight for it. You raised her well, Calden.
I didn't do it alone.
You won't have to let them know. We'll go to the Hall of Songs first, settle this issue with Zelia and Orlana, and then we'll come back.
Then it is your turn to tell us everything, yes?
It is. Now...
Leaving already?
Not this time, boys.
The two of you should be resting. The Fae hasn't come back yet.
And let Calden deal with this by himself.
What?
Please, Mariner. You were screaming last night. You really thought no one else would hear?
You know?
Surprise.
And Vasco?
Yes?
Vasco?
His mettle is impressive.
Well, what's going on?
He woke me up before dawn, asked for my help.
To what?
To
speak.
And?
Not perfect. Mind muddled. Languages floating. But better.
Vasco, I'm...
No. Now is the Mariner's time. Touché. I support you.
Thank you.
Besides, your personal life is your own, as long as it doesn't get in the way of the investigation.
And since the investigation is waiting for the return of our supernatural friend...
I don't believe this.
This world, not always hopeless.
I guess not.
Come on. I think the coach has space for one more. The others can stay back in case our Fae returns.
Hello, crowded room. Immediately a lot going on here. Vasco Tessitore. I am surprised he still remains with us after all that has happened. Is his lust for power, for the artifacts, really that strong? Somehow I find that conviction insufficient to justify his actions, both prior and present. And when we were in the Sunken Star, he said to me, He'd said to me he'd not abandon me again. There in his eyes, I saw an apology. I saw grief and remorse, but not their roots. What had he done that warranted such a confession? What secrets of ours must he have divulged, and what had he gained in the process? Again, I have no answers, but I find that that bothers me less than it should. He saved my life. If he had ratted us out, I don't believe I'd be able to hold that against him in the light of his recent actions. So by the way, the Herald's just maskless now? I wonder if we're going to keep seeing the Herald maskless conveniently for the rest of the game, now that we know who she is. Presumably she wore the mask for other reasons than to just keep her identity secret from my specific character. We're almost done with Kaladin's storyline apparently too. There comes a point in time when a choice must be made. It is safe to think that we can pass through our lives without standing for something, and for a long time that's what I did. I thought that perhaps I might be able to walk the ever-narrowing path between factions, between beliefs, between ideals. For the sake of my safety and those I cared about, I thought that perhaps by never choosing to fight for something, I'd be safe. After all, if I didn't stand with it, I wouldn't fall with it either. And that was fine until the world in which I live reminded me that it doesn't operate quite so simply. It is a fool's errand to think that one might be able to call oneself independent of belief, to say that they invest their faith in nothing is idiosyncratic. In putting forth that statement, they have proclaimed their belief in it to be true. They have faith in its authenticity, even if nothing else. Therefore, it has been, by its nature, defied. So, it is with the choices we will make in our lives. To deny the responsibility of making a choice is a choice in and of itself. It is willful ignorance. It is the choice to stand by and watch the world pass. And we are responsible for the choices we make, whether they be the choice to incite civil war or the choice to subscribe to an action. But yet, even as I formed those thoughts in my head, I know they simplify the reality of the situation. We are not merely responsible for our choices, we are our choices. What we want, we are what we choose to be. And I will not allow my cowardice, my fear of fighting, of losing, to define me. I cannot. I have done it before, and I have caused suffering, not only to myself, but for too many others, and I will not do it again. Kaladin, if you find this, know that I am eternally grateful that you entered my life, for you brought with you a lesson I will never forget. You taught me how to believe again. Thank you. If you ever find this, until now I didn't think that the characters and lore entries were written by hand. I thought these were just thoughts. I didn't think that he was actually taking notes on this stuff, but that part's a note. I thought that this was the only part that's actually written out. Oh, these are... No, that's 6 parts, 4 parts, 5 parts. For a second there I thought they might have all been 5 parts long. There's a lot to catch up on here.
I'd like to thank you, Marshal, for being so accepting of the Mariner.
It isn't so much a feat as you describe it.
I'd beg to differ. Supporting Italios isn't quite the most orthodox action.
The Lucca aren't known for standing up for what is orthodox, Inspectore. We're known to stand up for what's right.
Another verse from the Bright Chorus?
No. My father, this time.
They're wise words. I only wish more people listened to them these days.
We should be getting ready, Inspectore.
Of course.
Again, she displays confusing behavior, standing up for Kaladin despite the circumstances. That is not something a Lucca who follows so strictly the ways of her guild would do. In fact, it is an act I'd be less surprised to find endorsed by the Bright Chorus. The more I observe the choices she makes, the more I realize how much her and I have yet to understand. How much about her I have yet to understand. She still has a lot left for us to find out, by the way. She's the backloaded character, apparently. I should check up here just in case there's a weird floating detail that I don't notice at first. But I gotta say, like, that one line of dialogue, like, Razatov, Jaxus, they both would have wanted this. That had more emotional weight to it than any line of dialogue ever spoken in the entirety of Tokyo Mirage Sessions. That damn game. Oh, man.
Quite eventful these days have been. First our poor friend Saltz, and now we learn that another is Talios. You've always been a magnet for the dramatic, you know.
You don't have to tell me twice. Do thank Levia for me, if you get the chance. It's sweet of her, taking care of Vasco like that.
What can I say? Your friends are our friends, Cicero.
Even the mariner?
I was from Rome, Cicero. Our customs are rather different over there. Besides, if there's one thing living in this city does to people, it's open minds. You don't survive long in a world of fire and ice with such narrow vision.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
One.
One.
Again. One.
One.
Two.
Two.
Three.
Three.
Again. Three.
You'll fail.
It's all right. Let's try that again, from the beginning. One.
It was nice, what you did for Calden.
He's gone through enough. It would be awful to make things any harder for him.
Do you have something else on your mind? You sound a little distracted.
Well, I do, actually. That Fae that you created last night. How?
Kyrie's explained it all to us.
No, I meant the Scythe. What were you thinking of? What did you use?
It's not the shortest story. Are you certain you want to hear it?
I'm sure we can spare a little time.
When I was younger, I had been Contadani. I had always thought the portiere guards that patrolled the spire had the ripest purses. I haunted the streets around it like a spectre. Me and my fruit knife.
You? A cut purse?
But I did not learn all my skills from the registry, no. One day, I got caught, and the portiere dragged me by my heels up the grand stairs. When we came to the top, I had my breath taken from me. Sprawled out before me was the city that I had hated for cursing me and my family with poverty. But at that moment, from that vantage point, it suddenly seemed beautiful. The guards turned to me and asked me what I was doing. I turned to them and said, I want to be a portiere.
What did they do then?
Clubbed me over the back of my head.
No, they didn't.
I woke up in a cell, told my story to the Valencio at the time, and the rest is a story of history.
And you used that?
That moment at the top of the stairs, looking out at the city. I was remembering the wonderment, the drive to make it better, the awe at its beauty, the curiosity at its secrets. And then that Fae materialized.
I see. Thank you for sharing.
Come on, let's get ready.
Well, it's a good thing this whole Inspettoria thing worked out for him, because all of his stories about being a cat purse seemed to end in his failure in one way or another over and over again. I don't think he was very good at it. Yeah. And then Vasco, the sacrifice he made, he's the most inherently untrustworthy character in the party, potentially. Well, besides maybe the person paid to spy on you, I guess. But because of his position that he's in and how he joined in the first place, like you inherently don't want to trust him, so having him make such a grand sacrifice is actually one of the only ways they could make the trust more cut and dry, or at least plausible. Otherwise he's clearly just somebody that's along for his own personal gain. Why else would he be here? Do I have some leftover detail I can go for? Let's see. Mask charge, movement speed, hit point focus, restores 3% focus. So 2% hit point or focus, or 3% focus. So you can go higher into focus, for example. So you have mask charge. Going further into focus could be a good idea for the highly defensive character. Maybe go for a higher proc chance too. Oops. Nailed it. It's probably not a terrible idea. I will say that in general, though, that entire upgraded system comes across as relatively shallow, especially compared to the At least the other system lets you swap out masks for entirely new powers, but in general, it seems like really the most important thing is your skill tree.
Where to, sir? The Hall of Songs, please.
Who are we bringing along? So it has to be Calden. I could bring along the tanky type this time. We could. That'll be interesting.